His presence in the New Jersey goal is crucial. Steve Morris took the Storm to the league semis last year, but he'll be without the league's top goalie, Jeff Ritchie, who's out with the flu. His teammates need to get healthy in a hurry on the MISL Game of the Week on Fox Soccer Channel. From the Sears Center Arena in suburban Chicago, it's the Major Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week. Tonight, matching the New Jersey Ironmen against the Chicago Storm here on Fox Soccer Channel. What a game we have for you tonight. Once again, for our MISL Game of the Week, I'm Ken Tomash. He's Brian Lofton. Brian, these are two teams that are getting about things very differently, but they've both got off to a really hot start, and they've kind of struggled a bit as we reach the middle of the season.
Yeah, absolutely we have, and that's something what we see during this time of the period. Some injuries, some adjustments, some of the younger players now getting an opportunity to show their wares as they head into the playoffs.
These two teams have met just once before the season as we take a look at some of our Chicago game notes heading into this game. Back in November, right here at the Sears Center, New Jersey took an 18-16 overtime win. The Storm is in their fourth year in the league and looking for their third straight playoff berth, and they got a newcomer at the back. A member of Argentina's national futsal team, Gabriel Sigliano, is a guy we're going to be watching on defense, number 14 tonight. Now, as for the New Jersey Ironmen, we'll get to them in a second, but Steve Morris has a bit of a problem tonight in that the league's leading goalie, Jeff Ritchie, is out with the flu. So he's got to go with Jim Larkin in goal, and that's not a bad option to have, Brian Lofton, when you have a guy who has been in the league a long time and is a terrific goalie.
No, certainly not, and they've shared time throughout this season, and Jim's the number one goalkeeper. Ritchie got hot very, very early, won 17 straight games between last year and this year in the regular season. Now Jim gets a chance to step back in and prove, why he was here to begin with.
And it always helps when you have a guy like Stephen Armstrong who can score, he can fill up the net. He's coming off a performance that saw him score 3 goals against Baltimore. He had 8 points, 2 3-pointers. He leads the league in 3-pointers. He's a dangerous, dangerous man, and someone that the New Jersey Ironmen are going to have to keep an eye on tonight. Now, as for those New Jersey Ironmen, we told you they're an expansion team, but they started off this season playing like anything but an expansion team. Obeid Namazi's had them near the top of the league standings all year, but they're without some key players tonight, including Gordon Basic, who is the MISL leader in assists. He's out, won't play tonight. Their power play goals, the best in the league, 20 power play goals, so Chicago has to stay out of the box tonight. And the Brazilian flair of this New Jersey team, they've got 6 guys from Brazil, so it's a very technical team, a very fun team to watch for Obeid Namazi. And it all starts at the back, though, with them, with the guy from New Jersey, Tony Meola, who hasn't lost a step.
No, absolutely. I mean, Tony played indoor, many people don't know, back in the mid-'90s, so he had some experience prior to coming into this season. He's always been known for his cat-like reflexes. He possesses those. He's good with his feet, which really does him well in the indoor game, and he's been a solid addition for New Jersey here.
Still getting better with age, just like fine wine, is Tony Meola as he approaches the age of 39. Well, we're just getting started here. A big night of indoor soccer on Fox Soccer Channel. The lineups and the kickoff are next. It's the New Jersey Ironmen and the Chicago Storm from the Sears Center Arena in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the kickoff right after this. Stay with us. You're watching the MISL on FSC. The Ironmen and the Chicago Storm. Ken Tomash and Brian Lofton with you. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups as we're just moments away from kickoff, and especially for the Chicago Storm, Brian, a welcome return to the lineup by Mark Ugi as Steve Morris gets to put the big Hungarian back into his lineup for the first time in 3 months.
Well, I know he's very excited, but I would say look to see Mark playing some limited shifts today. He's coming back from the 5th metatarsal injury. He's right at the 8-week point, which is usually the healing point that it is, but if they feel anything, they'll probably pull him off tonight.
Randy Soderman also returning to the lineup after spending some time after the birth of his first child. Congratulations to Randy and his lady. Now, Obeid Namazi, meanwhile, ready for this thing to get going, and he's got some starters out tonight, but he's still got some guys that can really help him out, including Daniel Antoniuk, who's just been an amazing scoring story this year.
Well, he's been fantastic. He's a big body. He holds the ball well, but he's also clean with his feet, which we tend to see from a lot of the target players in this league. Look for him to shoot first, pass second, but he does a great job of bringing players in from the midfield.
And we're underway. New Jersey attacking from right to left here in the first quarter. They are in the gray, the mandarin, and the maroon jerseys with the black shorts and the black socks. Chicago in the yellow and black. And we're just underway with the MISL. Boogie again. He gets fouled from behind by Kevin Sloan, and that's going to set up Chicago in a really good position. A restart with the man advantage.
Well, definitely. These are the players you'd want to have on in this situation. They're definitely the most offensive mind players. Chicago's got 2 left-footed players in Farias, Chile, and Armstrong on the ball.
And they don't have to burn a timeout here if they've got the right personnel. Sometimes you'll see teams with a free kick want to get better personnel in, so they'll take the timeout because you're not guaranteed a substitution in this instance. Instead, they've got those players here. Oogie's down low, so is Stewart. Farias to trigger, dribbles in off Meola. Meola watched that one go away, and Matthew Stewart may get credit for that one.
I think he might have played that as a back heel, back through his legs. We'll see here. Difficult in that position with the man down to be able to take away all of the options. Frias, one of the better players at finding the little angles and the slots in between. Stewart slid to the center of the goal. I'm not sure if we're going to see a replay of that or not, but it really looked like Stewart slid in front here. Looks like the ball's going wide. They play it in. Couldn't quite see it from that angle, but certainly the ball was played to Stewart, who flashed to the center as Oogie flashed wide. Yep, there it is. It is a back heel.
Nicely done, and just as he did the last time we were here in Chicago for the MISL Game of the Week, Matthew Stewart starts things off with a power play goal. Early on at the Sears Center Arena in Chicago, it's the Storm leading the Ironmen 2-0. Brian and I will be back with more. You're watching exclusive coverage of the Major Indoor Soccer League on Fox Soccer Channel. Stick around. 51 mark of the first has Chicago leading New Jersey 2-0. Ken Tomash and Brian Lofton with you on the MISL Game of the Week here on Fox Soccer Channel. And quickly off the kickoff, New Jersey sends it over the glass and out of here.
Well, this is the start that Chicago needed. You know, obviously the team that's been traveling probably a little more weary, leg weary than New Jersey is. But you'll see New Jersey start to get their legs and start to run more. And I'm certainly certain that Omid spoke about that at the break. You could see him pretty animated during that break.
When is he not animated?
That's a good question.
It's Cub Scout night here. Lots of Cub Scouts. They seem to have a great time, Brian, at the pregame clinic. They got to meet all the players and go down on the field and learn some skills and drills. He's had a great time, and now they're watching their team take a 2-0 lead. And here's Ian Bennett looking for more. His shot beats Meola.
And that might be a 3.
Ian Bennett, what a find this guy's been.
Well, he's a young player with a lot of speed, and Ken, I think this might be his first game not playing at the target position with Mark Oogie coming back, getting him a chance to be in the second forward and turn and face players. We'll see him get the ball up here on the wing. He's going to beat a player. An inside-out move, right-footed shot back to the near post.
And that is a 3-point goal.
And it looks like Meola might have been screened a little bit by the other defender sliding across.
Saw the opening and took it. A young man who is wise beyond his years in this indoor game, already his 7th goal. Sloan back to Meola. Antonio. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Meola ventures above his yellow line and finds Ryan Johnson. Chicago's just not letting them get the ball deep. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Now Meola toe pokes it ahead. Ryan Johnson with 2 seconds to go. Tries to spin to the outside, and he never does get a shot off. Well, the first 15 minutes of the Major Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week are in the books, and the Chicago Storm, on the strength of a strong first quarter and a power play goal and a 3-pointer, lead the New Jersey Ironmen 5-0, but there's much more to come. The second quarter comes your way next. Stick around. You're watching the MISL on Fox Soccer Channel, where it's Chicago 5, New Jersey nothing. One touches it into the corner. Stephen Armstrong is there. Donald Gray is on him. Pays him no mind and plays it back out to John Ball. Now he'll go down in the corner. Farias and Alavagna battle there. Salas comes in, gets it for New Jersey. Now steps over it and loses it. Farias. Stewart open. Stewart scores. His second goal of the night.
What a fantastic ball by Chile Farias. That's their second connection here today. Little unfortunate touch by Salas at the midfield. Gives the turnover. Farias rolls the ball in, and Stewart makes a great diagonal run to create some space. Not sure how early we're going to see the replay here. Oh, we caught just the tail end of it. Get another good finish to the near post side there on Tony Meola. Inside of the foot, gets it over the top of the sliding defender and finds that near corner.
Brooks was trying to throw his leg out there and deflect it, but Tony Meola's Friday night is not going very well earlier in the first half. Ball will bounce around there, and the foul called on Chicago.
It's like another advantage call. They called Bennett for a hold initially on the turn by Gray.
Now Salas will be posting up on John Ball. Ian Bennett comes in to help out. Salas is trying to clear it out. It'll bounce around there. Here's Salas, top of the arc. Not a good shot at all. It bounced off Sigliano and right into the hands of Jim Larkin. That'll be sent over the glass again.
And you'll see the veteran player ball come over, get Sigliano off the ball again. He's only his second game.
Rosenband bounces that one back to Larkin. 2:10 to play in the half. Giveaway there by Armstrong. Brooks to Kraus outside the three-point arc. Bounces in front. Salas shoots and scores. Finally, New Jersey gets on the board, and it takes a bouncer off the board. Salas one times at home.
Well, that's what we talked about. Chicago did a good job of having players in the box, but they weren't marking anyone. And the way to break that down is to get to the boards, have them turn to their own goal. Here's the ball, takes it wide, and you see all the Chicago players turn and facing their own goal. Really, you want to stay with your man.
Krause's ball off the boards. Salas puts home. 7-2 now. And now these last 2 minutes and 2 seconds are very interesting, because if New Jersey can get another goal, then the lead is very manageable going into the half, and you got a little momentum.
Well, I think they're happy at 7-2. They'd be very happy at 7-4.
Under 2 minutes to go now, first half. Rosenband dispossessed and gets it right back and gets fouled. Wanted it to sit up nicer for him, and it didn't. 2 seconds, 1 second. And that'll be the end of the first half before New Jersey can get another goal. But they showed there in the latter stages of that first half that they weren't going to go quietly into that good night. So we've reached halftime on the Major Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week. But don't go anywhere. We've got lots coming up at the half. We got highlights coming up from the first half. There were several of them, mostly for the guys in yellow and black. We've got stats. We've got interviews. We'll break down this first half. Brian Lofton and I are coming back after this quick timeout. We're at Hoffman Estates, Illinois, and the homestanding Chicago Storm leads the New Jersey Ironmen 7-2 at the half. You're watching the MISL week from Chicago, Illinois, with the Storm leading the New Jersey Ironmen 7-2. Matthew Stewart of the Storm is with us at halftime. Matt, a great start for you guys. How hard is it to come back on that second game of a back-to-back and get off to the kind of start that you guys got off to?
It's always a hard thing to do. I think it's more mental than physical. We did the same thing last year, came and played Philly after a back-to-back and horrible travel itinerary, and we just came in and played well. So I don't know, it's been going for us.
Well, Matthew, do you want to take us a little bit through your second goal there? You got a ball won along the boards, and the ball that Farias gave you with your diagonal run. What were you thinking when you saw that ball fall in front of you?
You know, I saw Chile get that ball, and I mean, I'm going to make that run 100 times out of 100. So Chile finds me all the time, and I knew that ball was coming. I was just trying to concentrate on a finish.
All right, Matty, well done. Thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second half. We'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Matt Stewart with 2 goals in the first half of this game, just like he did the last time the Storm were on national television, so he likes the spotlight. We're glad that you're with us here from the Sears Center in suburban Chicago. We're at the half of the MISL Game of the Week. The Chicago Storm leads the New Jersey Ironmen 7-2. Coming back with more at halftime. Stay with us. You're watching on the Major Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week here on Fox Soccer Channel. Good evening, everybody. It's halftime. Glad you're with us. I'm Ken Tomash. He's Brian Lofton. Brian, the MISL held its college draft recently, and you've got some players. Other teams got some players, obviously. Kind of a weird time for a draft, middle of the season, and guys obviously don't play indoor soccer in college. So what do you look for? What kind of skills, what kind of players do you look for in the college draft at midseason?
Well, I think it's a balance. There are certainly some players that come out of college that are ready to play right away. And then there are others that they're going to take some time along the way. What a lot of the schools do, with players that are local to some of these teams, is they've already been in camp. They've already done some training once their college season ended. So a lot of the teams are familiar with these players before the draft even takes place, and some of those players are already familiar with the systems. So you might see 2 to 3 college players this year, but really most of the GMs and coaches are looking for the next year.
All right, so you can get a guy who has good soccer skills. Sometimes you can see him play outdoor and think someone who maybe thinks quickly, might be good, somebody with pace, somebody who could be good for the indoor game. But you also have to realize that a lot of those college guys are going to go outdoor.
Well, certainly, and there's the ability to go indoor-outdoor here in the United States, and a lot of players are very fortunate to do that. Very few players end up straight into the MLS, and the players that are left in that pool, and again, there are 2,000 or so men's college programs, so there's a lot of players within that, not just the NCAA, but also the NAIA, right, which develops a lot of good talent. So you'll see those players get drafted with an opportunity, and you're really looking for players that are clean on the ball technically, something they got to have, and the ability to play offense and defense. So not a lot of one-way players, but certainly players that are balanced.
So, and obviously, you know, your first pick was from IUPUI in Indianapolis. Are you able to do much scouting in the fall?
Well, you are a bit, and you kind of rely on your grassroots networks out into the college. And we certainly have that between myself and Steve Morris, the ability to look out here in Chicago. But I think you see that across all the teams. Old players that are now college coaches, teammates, other coaches that you've had during the time period. So it's really done by word of mouth, and then the ability to see some tapes and watch some games throughout the fall.
So a little conversation at midseason of the MISL, maybe a little glimpse at the future. You'll see some of those guys maybe later on will be a key contributor next year down the road.
I think absolutely.
All right. Well, we're here at halftime with the Chicago Storm leading the Jersey Ironmen 7-2 in the MISL Game of the Week. We'll be back with more at halftime from the Sears Center. Stick around. You're watching the MISL on. Back in Chicago, the third quarter about set to begin on the MISL Game of the Week with Chicago leading New Jersey 7-2, and Mauricio Salas of the Ironmen is with us now. Mauricio, how important was it that goal you got late in the first half, so you're going in down 7-2 instead of 7-0?
Well, we try to get back in the game, and a goal is all important, no? So now let's try to work hard and try to get back in the game and see if we can get the result here.
Mauricio, what was the emphasis of Coach Omid's talk at halftime?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
What was it that Coach Omid said the number one thing was you had to work on here at halftime?
Well, we start the game not very well, no? We lost the focus on the beginning of the game, and we got to come back to the game. We got to focus the game and try to do what he has, what we work on during the week.
All right, obrigado, Mauricio. Good luck in the second half.
Okay, thank you.
It's Mauricio Salas of the New Jersey Ironmen. It was his goal late in that first half that made it from a 7-0 game to a 7-2 game, and now New Jersey has everything to play for.
Well, they haven't. He had a couple good opportunities early that Jim Larkin did a good job of stepping in front of. So we're going to see more of him. We're going to see him crashing the box. It'll be interesting to see if the intensity. I think we'll see a change in intensity here.
Take a look at our halftime stats here. As you see, New Jersey continues to outshoot Chicago 8-10, but those three goals, two of them the two-point variety and one three-pointer, have staked Chicago to that 7-2 lead. And now as we take a look at the highlights from the first half of play, Chicago was already on top 2-0 thanks to a power play goal by Matthew Stewart when Omid Nomazi had to watch as his team fell further behind. Now we'll take a look at highlights. He looks, he's had better days, obviously. Now we'll take a look at our highlights of the first half. Ian Bennett's long three-pointer made it 5-0. And then just a great ball that Stewart finishes from Farias.
Yeah, that's the one we talked about with Matthew at the end of the half. Good ball through, and Stewart does a nice job of finding that lower right-hand corner.
Jim Larkin was a spot starter here when Jeff Ritchie came down with a flu, and he and his mates kept the ball out of the net. Frustration for New Jersey as they were unable to dent the scoreboard until just over 2 minutes were left. And Salas put that rebound home past Larkin, and that's where we stand, 7-2. And we're just set to start the third quarter of play at the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, as New Jersey kicks off now, and they will attack from right to left to open our third quarter of play. Sean David dispossessed, but only for a moment. Tim O'Neill sets it across, looking for Donald Gray. Stephen Armstrong there. It's it long. So a collision there, and Salas sends Revere to the turf. Rivera's okay. Free kick Chicago, though, right on the kicking line on the far side. Meola. Breeson with a shot, he scores! Chris Breeson through traffic makes it 9-2.
We probably won't see all the way back, but Gary Brooks makes a critical mistake. The ball's played down the boards, and he turns with the ball instead of the man. And that's really what gives Chris Breeson the extra step. And that's something for the youngsters who might be watching. Always turn with the man, not with the ball. A good touch here. We see a tidy finish in the corner. I was wrong. It wasn't Gary Brooks. I think it was actually Salas at the top that did. Brooks was the one that slid in at the end.
Yep.
But a good finish. Not a lot Tony can do there. Dead center in front of the goal. An option to go either way. A nice finish.
Brooks has been right there on a couple of Chicago goals tonight. The last man trying to prevent that ball going into the net.
Real heavy push into the playoffs. And these games right now that teams may pick up or drop will have a huge impact on how the final 3 weeks of the season play out.
Top 6 teams will make the playoffs, and no teams out of it. Even Orlando, which has been surging after dropping their first 16, they won their next 3 after that. They cannot be counted out yet. And when you have that man in the net, you've got a chance to win some games too. But John Ball, right off the restart, Farias gets his third assist of the night, and it's 11-2.
Well, this is a very, very smartly designed free kick. New Jersey expected the ball to be played back to either Farias or Armstrong, who are both waiting as left-footed shooters. Zanugli runs off the ball and really makes it look like they're going to play a ball off the boards, and John Ball swings from the far post all the way around. And they've got to be excited about this here, and you can see it in their faces. Good free kick down in the corner by Chicago. Well-designed play. Unfortunately, we didn't get a look at that, but maybe we'll see it in the highlights at the end.
So Ball has had a hand in the last two Chicago goals. Assisted on the one by Breeson, and then just a minute later, Ball gets one of his own off the restart from Farias. He plays it out. Stokic with a rip, and Fabinho's going to feel that one in the morning.
Well, they get another opportunity here, and if they can learn from what just happened, two players from Chicago went to block. It's a good opportunity for a two pass. If they make the second pass, then you really see a shot that they'll get to take from the top of the box. So let's see if they recognize that.
Tim Larkin does not want to let that happen. He's hugging that near post. Alavanya sets up Juninho. His shot is saved by Larkin. Dribbling in front, and he reaches out again and just pins it to the turf. Fabinho sends it long. Meola draws a beat on it. Comes off and is knocked home by Branko Savic in only his second shift of the night.
Second shift of the night, and a defender by trade in this league. And a left-footed player at that with a right-footed finish. A bit fortunate there with the bounce that comes down for him, but what a nice finish. And again, Tony, not a lot he can do in that situation. A good ball over the top. And that's going to tend to happen with New Jersey pressing so high and having to do that. Balls over the top are going to be dangerous against them.
Branko Savic with a finish. Fabinho with the long ball over the top. You could see Meola watching it, and as it came off the shelf, it came straight down onto the foot of Savic, and he put it home. The ball takes funny bounces in this indoor game.
It does, and that's a ball that's much easier to put over the top of the goal than it is into the goal. So nice touch there by Savic.
Foul whistled on Chicago at their yellow line, and Salas will run up on this one. Toe poke again, saved by Larkin. There's Farias now. He tries to catch Meola off his line and just misses. Ooh, he looked up, noticed that Meola was out almost to the top of his arc, and his shot didn't miss by much. That's an attention getter.
Final score in MISL action, Baltimore 25.
Meola. O'Neill. If you're New Jersey, Sean David gets away from the shirt tug by Ian Bennett. If you're New Jersey now, you've got to get the next goal.
But you just got to establish some rhythm. They just don't have good rhythm right now, Ken. Goals help you in finding that rhythm. That's for certain.
Down 11, not an insurmountable lead. There's still 16 and a half minutes to play, but they got to get the next one. Alavanya to Osmi Neto. Has that one come off his chest. Soderman on him there. Sets up O'Neill. And O'Neill's fouled. Just got the three-point arc. So with 1:16 to go, New Jersey will be set up with a chance to do something here. They can't make a substitution unless they call a timeout. They've got some decent talent on the floor. Two-man wall for Chicago as Larkin stands in front of his line. Alavanya plays it softly. Tiguinho. Rosenband on him, and Rosenband tries to get him off that ball.
Good ball by Alavanya. Tiguinho almost seems surprised by that ball. Let it roll across the front of his body.
Well, he's a mid-season acquisition, is Tiguinho. So still learning his teammates. See him there.
New Jersey number 15, Tiguinho is.
And the foul is on him there. There's Savic again. He gets sandwiched. Had so much success with his last shift. Thought he'd do it again. He gets fouled. Free kick. And Gordon Question is hot about it.
You can almost see from the body language right now that they seem to be down a little bit. New Jersey's got to find that energy, dig down deep, get some rhythm, get themselves back in this game. And we got a pick called here in the box.
Chicago trying to set up another set piece. And a pick called. Under a minute to go now in the third.
It's probably hard to see at home, but the center of the midfield is just clogged right now with players. New Jersey, not sure if they want to attack the wings or through the center. And nice. Chicago doing a good job of closing that gap in there.
Nice back heel by Antoniuk to the overlapping Alavanya, but he couldn't do much with it. 23 seconds now left in the quarter. Larkin happy to walk it up. A little pressure put on by New Jersey. Stays in play. Stewart's going to run onto this one, so is Meola. Chicago looking to finish with a flurry. 7 seconds to go. And New Jersey just trying to get it out of there. Barry Brooks tried to spin to the outside. He went down without really being touched, and that's the end of the third quarter. So New Jersey came into that third quarter with a chance, and Chicago took the momentum right back with a pair of goals in that third quarter. Stephen Armstrong and the Storm have a big lead, 13-2, 3 down, 1 to go in Chicago in the major indoor soccer league game of the week. It has been rough and tumble, and the Storm leads New Jersey by a score of 13-2. Stay right where you are. Brian Lofton and I are, well, like MacArthur. We shall return right after these messages. This is the major indoor soccer league.
Need to kill some more time for Chicago.
4 seconds left.
If you're looking for a great place to live,
and Chicago has killed off New Jersey's second power play chance of the night. Salas with a wall pass down low. Antoniuk. And Antoniuk gets fouled by Sigliano down low. And look at the young Argentine. He's 22 years old.
See all the New Jersey players staying on the perimeter right now.
Antoniuk bounces it into the area. Gets it back. Shot score! John Kraus with the goal. And that finally breaks that drought. It's not a power play goal, but New Jersey will take it.
Ball swung across here. Good finish. Far corner. And that's where you want to shoot. The goalie sliding back towards the near post. His feet sliding to the near post. Shoot the ball back from the direction he came from. Good finish. Not a lot Jim Larkin can do there. Poor job by Chicago stepping out.
Well, it's coming down to the wire. Not much time left in the Major Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week here on Fox Soccer Channel. And the Chicago Storm leads the New Jersey Ironmen 13-4. The exciting conclusion to our game is coming up next. So it's a little crowded there. Table for three, please. 5.5 minutes to go. Chicago up 13-4 and on the power play once again tonight. Stewart slides it across in front. The shot and the goal by Stephen Armstrong. Been held quiet tonight, but you can't keep him down forever.
Not difficult to do, and really kind of fortunate it goes to him, but he does a good job of the guy on the far side of the power play. Should creep in a little bit for the rebound and opportunity. Looks like Stewart was really trying to find Mark Ugi on that ball, and Ugi couldn't quite get to it. But there's Armstrong again, who's been out by the wing, by the boards for most of the power play, the last two that we've seen. Now cheats his way into the box.
Well, lots of accolades to go around tonight. Stewart has 2 goals and an assist. Armstrong with his first goal. Farias has 3 goals, or 3 assists rather. Is it up now to Armstrong? Reeston makes a run, but Armstrong will just play it back with 37 ticks left. Rosenband stepped around Juninho there, but they battle Stiquinho there in the corner, and a foul called on Rosenband.
That's Rosenband's third now, so for the hopes of not slowing this game down, let's hope he doesn't pick up another foul here.
23-6 left. Rosenband has a legitimate gripe, as he's been on the short end of some foul calls tonight. But he'll take the win.
I thought it was a very, very well refereed game. We saw from the first half how physical it was. This game could have gone the wrong direction.
It's tough to referee a game like this where you have so many big bodies and two teams that really want it. 5 seconds ago as Brooks lofts it out onto the concourse, outside, down the road.
And that might be a souvenir at this time of the game.
If somebody gets it, you may be having to chase him down. Just grab the ball and keep running. Oh no, they sent it back. See, that's not a heads-up play by a kid.
No.
The kid that gets it out in the concourse needs to head for the car and say, Mom, I'll meet you there. Of course, you get outside on a night like tonight in Chicago, you may think twice about running out in the parking lot.
You just might not know. It could be snowing. It could be sunny. You just don't know.
Larkin whips it long. And that'll do it. Chicago grabs the early lead and wins it going away. They beat the New Jersey Ironmen to even the season series at 1. 15-4 the final. That man had a terrific game in the net, Jim Larkin, spelling the ill Jeff Ritchie. And it points up the importance of having two quality goalkeepers. 13 saves tonight for the big fella. And Steve Morris at least can go home happy because his team, which did not play well in Baltimore last night, did play very well here tonight, coming back on the back end of the back-to-back and beating a good New Jersey team, a determined New Jersey team that was shorthanded, obviously. But this is the kind of effort that you like to see when a team really needs a victory.
Well, absolutely, and you alluded to it. Chicago gave up 18 points last night in Baltimore and certainly made a conscious effort to make sure they're going to get behind the ball tonight. They did that. Again, I can't stress enough how important it is to get those early goals, and they did that, and they took advantage of that by maintaining possession as the game went on, which just only made it more difficult for New Jersey and frustrating.
Big crowd tonight on hand at the Sears Center, and they're reveling in the moment as the Storm stands at midfield and gives them a big hand. A well-deserved and a much-needed win for Chicago. As we told you, they're going to try to make the playoffs for the third consecutive year. We'll take a look at our final statistics of tonight's match and see if they tell the story. Many more fouls than shots in this one, but Chicago able to get good efficiency out of their game and a great game at the back. It all adds up to a big victory for the Chicago Storm. And Jim Larkin, who stepped in and played a whale of a game in the net, is with us now. Jim, tremendous team defensive effort. What can you say about the guys in front of you tonight?
You know what I mean? When we're successful, we're blocking shots, we're getting 5 behind the ball. I mean, it's a key for us. It's what we talk about every game. When we struggle, we don't do that. You know what I mean? When we're getting guys caught up the field a little bit and we give away odd man rushes and stuff like that, we didn't do that tonight. We had a great team. After last night, we were all disappointed. We didn't give our best effort in Baltimore. We wanted to come home. We knew this was a huge one for us, so we got the result.
Hey, Jim, you had a game yesterday, a long day of travel back, and then a clinic today. How important was it, though, for you guys to get those 2 early goals?
I mean, you look at the stats. When we get out to an early lead, we're very, very good. I mean, we've got the guys in the team that possess the ball really, really well, and that's a key to our success. I mean, if we're running, gunning with teams, it's not good for us, as we found out last night. When we possess the ball, and we build up in the attack, and you know the big man up top really helps us. Mark Ugi coming back tonight. When we get him and Chili firing up top as targets, we're going to be tough to beat.
All right, Jim Larkin, 13 saves tonight. Terrific team victory. Good luck, and we'll see you down the road.
Thanks, guys.
Jim Larkin with a terrific game in the net. What can you say? Chicago, a total team effort tonight. They get the win. They deserved it.
A great team effort, and getting off early, which is what they needed to do, having such a long day. And then they took advantage of their opportunities. New Jersey, unfortunate a little bit, I think, in the first quarter not to get a couple more goals. Ball doesn't bounce their way.
Yeah, well, these two teams will meet again. There's no question about that. As the folks leave the Sears Center here, they're going to play one more time in the regular season, and probably you wouldn't be surprised at all to see these two teams meet in the postseason.
No, I don't think it would be surprising in any way. Coach Namazi's done a great job with this team, and he's going to get them prepared and ready. As you can see, a lot of younger players today, some of the veteran players that weren't there, you're going to see them blend together now that they got some of this experience, and that will help.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the Major Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week here on Fox Soccer Channel. Join us again next time as we bring you more of the fastest show on turf. For Brian Lofton, our producer-director Mike St. Amand, and our entire outstanding crew, this is Ken Tomash, thanking you for joining us and wishing you a good night from Chicago. We'll see you soon, real soon. This is the